Okay, so we're going to talk about lettering for a little bit here. And instead of piping on a cookie, I'm just going to pipe right on my work surface just so we can see it a little larger and just chat about it. When I am doing lettering, I like to use a toothpaste consistency icing. And so this is stiffer than a flood, but thinner than what you would use for florals. So it's going to keep its shape, but it's not super stiff. I like to do what's called pressure piping. And so if you look at this cursive here, the downstrokes are thicker than the upstrokes. And so when I'm doing the downstrokes, I am squeezing the bag harder to get a thicker line. And then I have less pressure, less squeezing when I do the upstroke. So it's thicker here and then thinner when I'm going up. It's also a balance of how fast you're moving the bag. If you are pulling on these downstrokes and squeezing the bag really hard but moving the bag slowly, it's going to come out kind of like ripply and have texture to it. And so it's a combination of squeezing the bag harder but also moving the bag faster to balance that out as doing the upstroke. And then I use less pressure, less squeezing, and go up slower. When I hold the piping bag under the projector, I have to be careful not to cover the projection, and so I do hold my hand over to the side a little more than I would naturally. And then I do like to brace my hand with my opposite hand, so either up high or at my wrist. So for the downstroke, we're going to squeeze the bag harder, pulling the bag faster, and then squeeze a little less, and then doing the upstrokes a little slower. So you see I'm pulling a little slower for the upstroke while also squeezing the bag less. So it's a thinner line. So again, downstroke, I'm squeezing harder, pulling a little faster. And then for the upstroke, I'm using less pressure, squeezing less, and moving the bag slower. You'll see it especially here on the A because this is really small and then we have a thicker downstroke. So I'm hardly squeezing the bag right now. Then I break and then I'm going to squeeze the bag really hard but also move the bag faster and then slower for the upstroke. Now let's play around a little bit on the N. I'm going to squeeze the bag hard but also move the bag slowly, so you'll see what I'm talking about where it ripples. So say I just move it, don't move it very fast. I don't know if you can see that, but there's quite a bit of texture right in here on this end. So I'm going to try this again. So I'm moving the bag slowly. Yeah, see here, I'm moving it slowly but squeezing really hard, so it's kind of this really rough looking line. Versus I will squeeze and move the bag quickly on this downstroke. Okay, and so now I'm doing a voiceover that I recorded later. So I am now piping without talking through it. And so I just want to show you guys what it looks like in real time without having to pause to speak and think about the different ways I'm piping. And so you'll see the downstrokes that I'm having more pressure. I pipe a little quicker than the upstrokes or the thinner lines where I'm applying less pressure. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful when it comes to pressure piping with royal icing, and let me know if you have any other questions. I would love to do more of these technical videos when it comes to cookie decorating.